I don't have.
Okay. I think now people on Zoom can hear me. So, I was talking about spending because we are living in two worlds, right? We live in America, we live in Africa. And because we live in two worlds, we spend twice. And we spend in the American currency, even when we are spending in Africa. Most of the time, guess what? We are sending money to buy things, different stuff, whatever we are buying, and they sell to us as if they are selling to Americans. Because we don't really have that control, we are spending a lot of money. Why? Because okay, I think that I think that's better, right? I hope that's better for you people on TikTok now, because they were complaining there is echo. Okay, so that means we are spending a lot of money, and most of the time we don't really have that money. Then we don't have emergency fund. We don't plan for emergencies. Why? Because we don't want that emergency to happen. So because we don't want it to happen, we don't plan for it. And when it happens, it's too late. We have to now go for a loan. So when you come here, we talk about building an emergency fund such that when you get a challenge, you have a pocket where you can go to help yourself. Then we live paycheck to paycheck. Most of the time, you'll find that the kind of life we are living, we get to use to plan for our paycheck before we even get it.
I know, right?
We know that I will get another paycheck next week when I go to work. So I'll pay for my rent. So if something happens in between, it's disaster. So that is the kind of life we live. And because we live in such a life, we always have increasing debt. Why? Because we are living in a country where you can easily get anything you want. Because you can easily get anything you want, you have easy access, so you will always buy something. You will always get something. And before you know it, you're in debt. And we are not interested in the financial future. This kind of conversation is not so popular. In any case, we've invited so many people, and look at how many people we have here. If we had invited them for a party, even if it is snowing, people would say, yeah, I know it was snowing, but for you, I decided to come. But because we are talking about youth power, we are talking about what does the youth have to do to help themselves, that's not really that interesting. So that is why most of the time we are living in the same kind of life that our parents did and our grandparents, and then our kids will live in that life. So until you make that change, until you make that decision to change, That's when everything is going to change. So when we are here, we are talking about those bad habits and poor decisions that add up to all those challenges. So in this office, we talk about what the wealth people know that the rest of us normally don't know. Statistically, we are living longer. On average, we've been living for 79 years. We are now going to live for 84 years on average. But what does that call for? It comes with a lot of challenges. We now have lower birth rates. My grandfather had 24 kids. My father has 6. I have 2. So that means me thinking about being taken care of by my kids, the chances are now more. Okay? We have more single parents now. It's now easier to retire alone. Now, imagine retiring alone and broke. We have increasing health concerns, right? We have inappropriate housing and supervision. We have transportation and mobility challenges. We have wealth transfer and health directives problems. Imagine how many of our parents, or even us, okay, how many of us know where all our parents' belongings are? Now, what if our parents get, passed today? What happens? Because we don't know where their things are, then what is going to happen? We are going to lose out on a lot of things. That is if they have them. We might think they do when they actually don't. Right? Then, financial security, social security. We don't understand all that. Even at the young age, we need to understand all these things and how they work, such that we can utilize them, because we are in the biggest economy in the whole world. We are in #1 economy in the whole world. But if we don't understand how to utilize that chance, we are going to continue living as if we are in a third world country. Why don't we understand all this? Because we are too busy doing nothing. We get too busy during the first half of our life, and we don't prepare for the second half of our life. And by the time we're in the second half, it is too late. So when you come here, we talk about all this. We talk about what we then need to do. We need to learn to build a strong financial foundation. Minus building a financial foundation, you cannot build wealth. So you need to understand, do I have a proper protection? Do I have a debt management system? Do I have an emergency fund? How about investment? Am I investing money? So you have to put this into consideration. Welcome. Hi. So you have to look at your current situation versus where you need to be. Even as a youth, you need to think about your proper protection, because at one point you will have a family. Now you need to plan for that family today when you're still young. Because by the time you get that family, you'll be overwhelmed by the responsibilities. But if you start planning when you're still young, then it's going to be easier because you will be used anyway. So you need to understand, do I have 10 times of my income in proper protection such that if something happens to me, my family can still live? Do I have 0 in debt such that if I die, my family is not going to pay to worry about my debts? Most of us are driving cars and we have car notes. Have you ever thought about what happens if you die? What happens to that car? The bank takes it. But is that what you would want? So you need to understand how are your dates, just in case something happens to you. Emergency fund. Do you have 6 months of your income saved in emergencies? Such that in case you get sick for 5 months and you cannot go to work, what is going to happen? Some of you are lucky, you just think, okay, my father is here, I would simply go to my father. Does he have enough money to look after you when you're sick? I understand you're living alone, Malcom, right? You and your twin brother, you're living alone, not with your father. So if both of you twins get sick, who pays for your house?
The money we saved up.
The money you saved up, yeah. Because you have an emergency fund. That's what we are talking about. But how many people do have 6 months of their income saved up? Do you?
Not like an hour. 1 month and we're
You have an hour saved.
That's for emergency.
He has an hour saved for emergency.
Whatever happens.
And now for an hour, hey, that's it.
I need to have a start.
You see, most of us are living in such a life, but because we don't prioritize ourselves, we prioritize our other things, and because we don't want this to happen, we don't plan for it, but we don't have any control over. It can happen. If it doesn't happen, well and good, but what if it happens? Then we talk about your investment. By the time you retire, you need to have at least 20 times of your income invested, such that you can enjoy your other 20 years without worrying about anything. But how many of our parents can live 20 years from now without working? Now, are we planning to be like our parents? Okay. There is a difference between planning and wanting. We don't want to be like our parents, but are we planning not to be like them? Most of the time we are planning to be like them or even worse. So, without a strong financial foundation, your financial house cannot stand. So that's why you have to think about what we call the X-curve concept of life. Yes.
I didn't quite understand the first.
Proper protection. Okay. Proper protection. When we talk about proper protection, we are talking about insurance. We are talking about car insurance, health insurance, life insurance. That's the foundation. Because most of the time, actually, that's a good question. I should have mentioned that. Most of the time, what we do, okay, I think most of the time on this financial foundation, what we care about is what? Investment. Most of the time we worry about the roof of the house. We don't worry about the foundation. And that's why you see that where we come from, is a very rich person dies, and then the next time on the news, the bank has taken over because they had a lot of debt, because they didn't have any emergency fund, they didn't have any insurance. So when you're building a financial foundation, the first foundation is insurance. What happens if my car gets an accident? I have to have car insurance. What happens if I get sick? I have to have health insurance. What happens if I die? I have to have life insurance. Sometimes, most of the time, actually, we get car insurance because it's compulsory. Okay? And you don't have life insurance yourself. Now, for a car, you cannot drive it away from a car sales yard. What is it called? Where they sell the cars? Dealership. You cannot drive a car out of the dealership minus insurance. But it's okay for you to drive without life insurance. Meaning, if something happens to you driving that car, the bank has to get its money, but who gets your money? What happens to your family? So they're not going to tell you, it's all about you, whether you get life insurance or not, but for the car you must get, because the bank has to get its money. Because they value that car. Because you don't value your life, that's why you drive it without any insurance and you're okay. Why? Because in any case, you can still drive. So that's why it's very, very important to understand proper protection. That everything here has to be properly protected. So the X-curve concept talks about life. This is the kind of life we live every day. When you're growing, you don't really have a lot of responsibilities. Malcom and his brother are young, 20 years old, you know, all they worry about is sleeping, eating, and that's it. Is that what you worry about?
A lot.
You worry about a lot. Okay? You think about your kids. They have to eat. They have to sleep. They have to. So you worry about yourself, you worry about your kids, right? So you're taking care of your family. But time is going to come when you are like, Mama Justine now. Now, Mama Justine is no longer worried about Gloria. Well, she worries, but not as much. Because now Gloria takes care of herself and her kids. So that means that curve is now going down. Make sense? But as her curve is going down about taking care of the kids, the parents, guess what? Another curve is actually going up. And that is the curve to take care of herself. Much as Gloria is very worried, much as Gloria loves her mother like nothing, she's less worried about what mother ate yesterday. And now mother has to worry about herself. Now the challenge is mother has less energy now. 10 years later, do you think she's going to be that strong? 20 years later? No. But she will need to eat. She will have all the rest for the bills, but the energy will be down. So that means she has to worry about taking care of herself. Now the curve is going up. Problem is, how much did she prepare for that life? And now, for Mama Justine, she's now grown up. For Malcom, he's just starting life. If Malcom plans better, he will have a better life. So that's why we are having this session, to help us plan better, to understand the kind of life we want to live in. But even when you're thinking that you're taking care of yourself, your family, we are actually not. Why? Are you sure if something happens to you today, your family, Mama, yes. Are you sure your family can pay off your debt if something happens to you today? Are you sure you can live, they can live for another 10 years? Are you sure they can pay off mortgage? Are you sure your children can go to school and finish if something happens to you today? If not, then you're not taking care of your family. You're just working for the sake of working. Yes, ma'am. No sugar. So, but if something happens to you today, this is how we calculate how much you need to have in insurance. But what if you don't die and live long? Are you sure you're having... She's happy now that we are not talking about death. Yeah, let's talk about the other side. Okay, but what if you don't die and live long? Are you having money that you're putting aside? And of course, as a youth, you have enough time for that money to grow. But the more you wait, the lesser the time. The time just cuts off as you wait. So, do you have enough time for that money to grow? What is the rate of return for your money? How much does $100 that you invest bring back to you every year or every month? Are you thinking about inflation and taxation? So you need 10 times of your income to protect your family and 20 times to protect yourself. How about debt? Debt in this country, it's very easy to get into debt. The challenge is when you eventually get into debt, what happens next? You have to understand, how do we manage this debt? So when you attend our workshops, we have workshop number 2. We normally have these workshops here and on Zoom. If you attend workshop number 2, you will learn how to use $100 to pay for all your debts that you could have. Thank you, Mom. For all the debts you could have that you would have paid in 30 years, you pay in 17 years using $100. But it's not just 100, it's 100 plus knowledge. If I give you $100, you cannot pay for the debts. But if I give you 100 plus knowledge, then you can pay for the debt. So you need to attend those workshops to learn, how do I manage these debts? Compounding effect of money. The rule of 72. The rule of 72 is very important to understand. This is 72 is a constant coined by some mathematician, great mathematician called Albert Einstein. He said, when you get 72 and as a constant and you get any interest rate, you divide it into 72, the answer you get is the number of years it is going to take your money to double. Meaning if you're saving your money in a 6% platform, if you get 6 divided by 72, you get 12. So that means it will take 12 years for your money to double. So if you have 10,000, 12 years later, it will be 20,000. 12 years later, it will be 20,000. 12 years later, it will be 40, like that. If you put in a better platform, 8%, then you have lesser time. You put in 10%, you have even lesser time. So more chances of doubling your money. So this also affects you when it comes to borrowing. So borrowing, most of the time, when you're young, out of college, the first thing you get is a credit card. When you don't understand, most of the time, we rarely read the APR of the credit card. We don't even know how much am I paying. Those are hidden charges. You don't know, but you're paying around $29 for every $100. That's 29% APY. But because we don't know, we simply consume. So we need to understand the rule of 72. And this will take you to know what to do. For example, if you save $100 in a platform that gives you $5%, you have $5, but you have to pay tax 25%. That's 1.25. You have 3.75, but remember, inflation takes 3%. That's $3. So in actual sense, your actual rate of return is 75 cents, even when you made $5. So until you understand all this, Kathy, saving your future. Assume your income is 60,000 a year and you set aside 10% per month into an account that grows at a certain interest. Our biggest challenge in life that you as youth must think about is paying yourself first. Most of the time, the reason why our parents don't have money, why we don't have money, is because we think about ourselves last. So, because we think about ourselves last, most of the time, we spend. We pay everyone else, but we never pay ourselves. Why? I think it was Napoleon Hill in his book, he said, most of the time we don't pay ourselves because we don't have anyone to talk to us about us. You have somebody to talk to you about your rent. That's why you cannot miss paying your rent, because you know that somebody who is concerned to talk to you will come, and sometimes they won't even talk to you, they will send you a letter. So you're worried about your rent. You have that somebody who will talk to you about your car. So you want to make sure you pay for your car in time such that that person doesn't talk to you. You have somebody to talk to you about grocery. You have somebody to talk about. So that's why we pay all other people, because they have people to talk to us. Now, because we don't have anyone to talk to us about us, that's why we always think, I'll save next. Now, you see, I don't have any money remaining, so next week. And when next week comes, you have other problems. So it becomes next week. And then the other week, you also have rent now. The other week. And before you know it, you haven't saved anything. Now, that's why we say, prioritize yourself. If you pay for your rent for the next 20 years, how much will you have? Any answer?
What was it?
If you pay for rent for the next 20 years, how much will you have? Waswa, you're Waswa, right?
Yeah.
If you pay for your rent for the next 20 years, how much will you have?
I think 160,000.
Is that what you will have?
Oh, zero. Oh, none.
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing. But if you pay yourself $10 a day, that is $300 a month for the next 20 years, how much will you have? 72,000. That means you have more money paying yourself than you can have paying for rent. But most of the time we prioritize, not that you don't have to pay rent. You definitely have to pay rent, but you have to think about yourself just like you're thinking about rent. So that's why we are saying, if you put just $17 a day, 1 hour of your time, you get 1 hour of your time, save it. If you save it in a platform that gives you 8%, 30 years, this young man will be 51. At 51, if he puts his money in a platform that gives him 8%, he will have 745,000. If he puts it in 10%, he will have 1.13 million. Just 1 hour, taking out 1 hour of his time and saving it. Changu.
Yeah.
Prioritize. If you prioritize yourself. Now, the challenge is when we talk about prioritizing ourselves as young people, we think about buying Gucci. We think about buying in that was it Nike. Jordan. And you spend $200, $300 to buy one pair of shoes. And you have a full closet of wonderful clothes that you don't even put on, but you only put them on once. How often? Welcome. Hey. Wow. It's interesting. Come. Good to see you. I want you to imagine how many, on average, how many functions do we have in America here that you attend in a year? How many?
A number.
Like 20? 20 in a year? So because 20 in a year, it would mean 2 in a month. Huh?
Does this count?
So because I want us to compare the number of clothes that you have versus the number of functions you attend. Okay, and you put on a different cloth. So you put on a cloth once. So most of the time we spend a lot of money on things that actually don't matter that much. Okay? So inflation is a silent killer. It is taking our money. Before you know it, guess what? A new home in the 70s cost 23,000. In the 90s, it cost 123,000. Today, a new home costs 500,000. What does that mean? 20 years to come, it's going to cost $1 million. Gas, which was 36 cents, now costs up to $4. Bread. One thing that actually doesn't increase like that is wages. Do you want to tell me that where you work, 20 years later, they will be paying them twice how much they pay you today? No. But the cost of living will be twice.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because of inflation, basically. When they pay you, they don't consider inflation. But when you're spending, inflation affects you. So we need to now plan for that inflation. Because 20 years later, trust me, your current $100 today, 20 years later, it will be worth $55. And something that you buy at 100, you'll be buying at $184, $81. Question is, will you have more energy? Maybe he will be 44. When I was at his age, I was a very good soccer player. Just a few years later, when I go to the pitch, I can't even run for 30 minutes. That's life. I don't have control over that. And guess what, Malcolm? At one point, you'll be my age. So when you're at my age, where do you want to be? Huh?
Better life.
Better life? If you want a better life than me, then you have to plan better. So, for a person to retire today, they need $4,000 to live monthly. For a person to retire 20 years to come, they need 7,000. How about a person who will retire 40 years from today? Maybe over 15,000. Problem is, how prepared will you be? How much will you have then? So we need to understand the taxes. Where do you put your money? Tax now, tax later, or tax advantages? Tax now is where you put your money and it's taxed right away. They will send you a 1099 at the end of the year because you made some profits. Checking, saving, CD, stocks, mutual funds. This is mostly liquid money. You can easily access the money. So that's why you have to pay taxes right away. So if you're putting your money there, then you know how much taxes you're paying. And then we have what we call tax later accounts. This is where we put our money that is not taxed. So you're not paying taxes yet. But when you access that money at a later stage, you'll pay the taxes. This is where we have the 401ks, the 403bs, the IRAs, the annuity, the pension. But how much do we understand these things? I had a friend in the morning and she was telling me, I saw that thing 401k on the papers, but I don't, they told me they would take money. I said, no. And I told her, oh, you actually lost money.
Did they tell her why they're taking the money?
Do they? Maybe they do, because they asked me that question. I was working with a company called Advocates. And they told me, do you want to sign for 401k? I said, what is that? They said, we shall be deducting some money from you. To tell you the truth, they explained, but I didn't hear the rest.
Once you hear deduct.
Deduct. I said, no.
Underline that word. Leave my money.
Deduct, leave my money.
So it's not worth it.
Huh?
It's not worth it to have a 401k.
No, I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know. So I said, no deducting. I want my money. But in actual sense, when they deduct, most of the time, they match. If they don't deduct, they don't match. So you're leaving money to them. But because of ignorance, most of our parents never signed. And most of us are not signing. So do you think we are planning to be like our parents? Yes. Tax advantage. This is where you put your money that is taxed already. So you don't have to pay taxes again. When they pay you, you put your money on your banking account or checking or saving. And then you use that money to invest in this platform so you will not pay taxes again. This is where we have the Roth IRA, the 5 to 9 college savings, the municipal bonds, the health saving accounts, the the life insurance accounts, and the long-term care account. So you don't have to pay taxes again. Question is, where is your money?
Making money.
If your money is in the Jordan shoe, it's not making any money.
But also, I come.
Yeah, also funa yaka mwe. Also funa yaka mwe. Yeah. Olumu esanyo samu. But the problem is tuchitiriza.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
At the end of the day, we're about paying.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So somebody said we spend a lot of money buying things we don't need to impress people that don't even care. Sometimes they don't even like us, but we are trying to impress them, yet they don't like us. In fact, they feel bad.
That's what we want to.
That's why you want them to feel bad at the expense of your money.
That's okay.
Right?
I get what you're saying.
So we just need to understand. So we need to learn the managed growth strategy. You need to understand where is my money. Can it beat the rate of inflation and the taxes? And then safety. Where my money is growing? Am I able to preserve my principal in case the market goes down? And then what about the tax advantages and protection? If I get sick, am I able to, do I have insurance for long term, if I get a disability, if I get a chronic illness, what happens? So that is why we need to understand how to build our future. We need to understand that just like you're building a house, you need all aspects of the house to be coordinating. Just imagine the plumber is not talking to the person who is, who is probably doing the doors. And then they are not talking with the person who is doing the foundation. Which kind of house would that be? That's how our finances are. They are not coordinating. So what we do, we go through the financial checkup and see how much do you need to save? How much do you want? How much do you want to save? And how much do you earn? How much do you spend? So when we do that financial checkup, you understand your situation, then you can easily understand where you want to be 10 years, 5 years, or 1 year to come. So it's very important that you understand that. Question for you. When did you come to US? When did you come to the United States? 2012? Is that like 13 years now? Oh, wow. Wonderful. Okay. You were young when you came here, right?
Yeah.
Very young. Did you have any dreams then?
Yes.
What was that? To see your mom. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So as time grew, you developed some dreams. Okay. As you grow, you understand, I need to do this, I need to do that. Now, my question to you is, when you look at your current situation, and you think about the dreams that you have, will your current situation enable you to reach all those dreams?
Not really.
Not really. You have a lot of work to do. So now you can go and come back. Go and come back. Because now you understand we have to do a lot of work. So most of the time, when you come to this country, guess what happens? You have a lot of dreams. 1 year, 2 years later in this country, they are shattered. And you're reduced to simply paying for your rent, car, kids. That's it. That's all you're thinking about. Now, when we come here, we dream again. We understand again, what do I need to do? Get to my dreams. So that's why I want to welcome now Mr. Malcom here and Mama Justine. We are going to have a panel. They are going to talk about life from 2 different perspectives. We definitely have the perspective of the young Malcom and the perspective of an elder person. And we are going to learn from these 2 people. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Malcom X Mukisa. Mama Justine. Yes, should be working.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Okay. Yes, Malcom, first tell us your story as Mama is coming.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Malcom X Mukisa. I'm 21. I'm turning 22 next month. My journey coming here, actually, she was the lady that invited me on.
Yogera ponyo.
Rebecca retired. She invited me to this place. I joined before. I think it was in 2022, but I didn't understand it. So I just came there for one time.
Malcolm, can you? I don't know whether.
I don't think it's
Yeah, it's
Okay, use this.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah, so I joined before. I joined like in 2022, but I went there one time and I didn't understand, so I didn't like it, and I didn't go there no more. And then 2023, Mrs. Lutaya, she's here. She came to me and she invited me to a meeting, but I didn't like it because someone already came to me and talk about it. So I said I'll try. And then she invited me to another meeting, and then I made another excuse. And she's like, "Okay, we need to have like a meeting together so you can meet someone, my coach, and we go through everything." And that time, I didn't come.
Yeah.
And she told me, "Okay, let's do Friday." And we waited Friday, and then we had the meeting. And then yeah, we went through the meeting, the presentation, and everything. And I really liked it because by that time I was looking for something that I really wanted to do, and that could help me with my future income and everything. And by that time, because I was struggling with college, paying college tuition and everything, I didn't know what to do because before I graduated, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was looking for something that I wanted to do and also help people because I love helping people. So when she came to me and she presented this business to me, this is what I wanted to do because I wanted to help people. So once I found this opportunity, helping people and also get paid, I said this is a good thing. So I studied for my licenses, and I passed both of them. It took me a while. I did my first one. I failed like 4 times, but I didn't give up. But I was failing by 1 point. I just had to know what I was doing. And then I failed it 4 times, the first one. And the last one, I think was 2 times because now I was used to it. So now I'm fully licensed. I can do business now. I'm still, struggling a little bit because I'm not used to, talking to too many people. I didn't have I have a few like family members. So I didn't have a lot of people. So I'm struggling like looking for people, presenting and everything. And one thing I want to thank God is I was so shy. I couldn't talk to people like I'm doing right now. I remember one time my pastor, she told me to pray for people, only just one prayer. I knew what I wanted to say and I knew what I was gonna say. But because of shy and everything, I said no. Not like I was being disrespectful, but because I was nervous. But I just want to thank God for the boldness He gave me to talk to people like I'm doing right now. It's, to be honest, I'm really proud of myself because just talking with one person, I always feel shy. I couldn't talk, but now like talking to multiple people, I feel like it's a blessing, and I know in the future I'm gonna do better.
Okay, Mama, tell us how you came here. How do you end up here?
Hi. Hello, thank you all for coming. Before I tell you how I came here, I really have to thank God because I think this was how God wanted it. There is such a gap between Him and me, so this is going to be a very nice comparison. Like people my age or even older couldn't plan better, like they're trying to teach us now, are in the same problems or what I call it, a sinking ship. But yeah, we didn't plan better, not because we didn't know, we were not informed. I'm really glad you people are getting sensitized. This is real serious. At my age, trust me, I wouldn't want to work like 24/7. And to tell you the truth, I work 24/7. How many days do I spend home? I don't even want to say. And this is something that is not good for people of your caliber, of your age group. I'm glad Malcolm invited you all. I did invite people, like, I have to confess this. Other people don't know what they want. People don't know how valuable their time is. Or people are looking at this minimal payment. Like when I was growing up, wherever I came from, I know you people may know this. So these people are out there, but you're majiga. Honestly, the Mugulas are here. So please go on, keep sensitizing people so they can come and live a better life. Bill, before I answer his question, he talked about somebody he met. And this someone was like, yeah, I've seen this 401k. What does it mean? Michael himself said he didn't want to contribute. He wanted his money. This is nothing but ignorance. How do we get out of this ignorance? Let's get used to reading, to asking. Let's try to read as much as we can. If you don't read, ask someone that is like, I think I trust this person. Okay, can we talk about this one? Do you know anything about this one? Good enough, you guys have Google. I don't know how true Google is, but maybe 90% of it is. Go Google stuff. Go talk to people you think are knowledgeable, but please get yourself into the know. Who do you go out with? Go out with people that are going to Kugatako. Who said, like, if I have 2 girls here. I'm glad they came. So if one of them is like partying 24/7, I think, which one? So why would you team with a person that parties 24/7? Look for a better person. Look for a better companion. Look for someone agenda kugatako, agenda kusi. So please, achieve your thinking. Okay. How did I come here? I'm glad I took the step, coming at blessing, but like many of us, we came here for better bread, for greener pastures, and we thank God with it. But when I came here, unfortunately, I could not even go to school. I figured myself like sharing a fees and them, because when I came here, they were like what you call high school here or something. So they were demanding a lot of money. I ended up not going to school. Right now, I'm a CNA. Oh, it's a hard life. People, go to school, go attend to this program here. You will avoid all my issues. You'll have time for your families. I know you have growing families. It's not good for you to have a family that you'll not have to share your quality time with. No, these are your people. Please create time with your family. How are you going to create rather time with your families? By doing better, planning better for your family, for yourself and your family. Yeah. Because if you're not in my bracket, that this mkaza kola nyuro nagi ngo kola nyu. At the end of the day, bakumuzani sente ngatoziraba. Take care of yourself, plan better, live your life fully. Live your life fully. And how are you going to do it? Listen. Please listen and do the needful. no business is like so many people kind of say, money to the hit. Let me tell you the truth. To the hit by this circle thing. Ababiyita batya? Circles, wali amanya amalala mangi ma. Eh? Bino ebyogamba nti tuwe good sente. Cash round says ebintu ebyo abantu bakubiddeyo bannaabwe. For this thing, tewali agenda kukubirayo. Now, when you go out there, you try to talk to people, you try to sense that, those people are taking you for granted. Mukolerabo. But let me ask you one question. Who of you here is not working for anybody? Angie?
No, I say that's right.
Who of you does not work for anybody? We all work for some people. But when you come here, well, of course, they are appropriators of this thing, but they give you that option of ekintu kizimbe ekintu kikyo. Olinga eyeegabirako. Abaganda bagamba oli ku muwumbo, like, naye eri where we are implementing ensula kumuli. Novayo ng'okoye kikubye. Nenga butufu bakugabiddeko oba omukadde bamugyeko sente mmeka be bamanyi ne bakuwako peanut. You don't want to do this for your compared given your age group. Mugenda kadira bwere. But when you join this group, you are always in the know. Osoma, get to know everything. Michael, nina kyesogedde? Kwa kibuuzo kyo?
Kyali mulamu.
Mbazeeyo byenjogere. Thank you very much, people, for listening. And thank you so much, Malcom, for doing what you are, for inviting them, sensitizing them. Thank you, my dear. Please join.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama.
I definitely have questions for you, but something happened. I tried to change my camera, but
It decided to misbehave on me. Simanyi kiki kye ntukoze neegaanira ddala ate instead.
naye okay. I think
ndowooza oba nkozeseeyo nga bw'eri kubanga eri ekyagaanyi. Anyway, so I have questions for you. You people are coming from two different generations. And you are now both financial professionals. At Malcolm's 20 and at Mama's 60 something, you both choose to become financial professionals. And of course, you've told us why you came here, why you decided at the end of the day to be part of the financial education platform. But my first question to you, Malcolm, is as a young person, you should be more interested in party, you should be more interested in, traveling. Of course, I know you do travel, but I mean, you should be thinking about the next nice show, the next big song, which concert. Why do you spend time coming here every now and then to learn about finances at 20?
So actually, I'm not a fan.
Do you know what I used to do when I was 20?
No.
I was a superstar. I was a superstar, a music superstar, and I was moving across the country doing shows. Now you at your 20, you're here, and when we think about finance, we think as if they are day. But you're here at 20. Why?
So before anything, I'm not a party guy. I don't want to go like to parties and everything. I'm not used to that. I like to be in the house, no sleep, and play some video games. But why I joined this was to have a better life, uh, to retire my mom, because I grew up in a single household with my mom. She had about seven kids, and she used to work in a salon. So she used to work hard to provide for 7 kids, and we had to go to school. And we had struggling, going to school and everything, because every single time we used to go there, but we don't finish from baby to until I came to America. So when I came here and I understood about this information, like education and everything, uh, it made me happy, first of all, because I knew I could accomplish my goals. But also why I stayed and I'm always here is to be financially independent, retire. My mom, actually, right now, she's not working.
Tired, huh?
I mean, because it's Ugandan money, so still.
So you retired?
Yeah, but it's not like what I want to, but at least she's not where she is, because now she don't work, she don't worry about food, housing, or going to somewhere to ask for money. She's okay. Me and my twin brother will take care of my mom and my sister. But my other goal is to retire. My dad, in America, is very hard, and I'm still young, but that's my goal. And my other goal is to be very helpful in my church, because I've seen my pastor working so hard, working very hard. He don't sleep. So my goal is to educate a lot of youth people. By the time at least we grow up, we can at least take care of the church expenditures and everything. So a pastor can focus on the word, reading and everything, because he's doing too much. So that's one of my number one. I cannot do that without financial education, without money. I can talk about it, but if I don't have money, it's nothing. So that's my goal, is to be financially free. That's why I'm always here, learning, educating people, helping more families. I'm still struggling because most of my friends were in the same bracket, work at the same job, they're getting paid the same amount. So going to them, teach them about finances, it's very hard, because we work in the same place, we get paid the same money. So how are you gonna teach me about something, you know? And the other thing is kind of age. Talking to older people, they'll be like, what are you, because I try to talk to older people who are older than me, but they'll be like, what are you talking about? You've been here for 2 years. What are you gonna teach me? I've been here for a long time. But they're saying they've been here for a long time, but what do they have?
You know?
So,
And the other thing is, before I joined here, I used to be a good saver. There's one time I saved like 10,000 in 5 months because I was saving. But once I started sending money to Uganda, I lost control of my amount of money, how much I'm spending. 2022, I went 2 years, 2022, 23, making a lot of money, about 47,000. But by the end of the year, I have zero. You know why? When they call me, my sisters, oh, Malcolm, oh, someone stole my money, I need this. I send money. I never take care of myself. So every single time I send money, send money, send money, send money. And how about me? I have nothing. But once I joined this place, I committed to pay myself first, my mother, and then the rest I don't know. If I have, I have. If I don't have, I don't.
Yep.
And last year, I managed to save from zero the whole year to at least 6,000. At least it's something, because 2 years, zero, nothing working. And this year, my goal is to save at least 30 to 40K or more. Because now I have financial education, I pay myself, and I know when to give money and when it's not needed. Because if you ask me, I want to go out, I'm not going to give you the money. But if you're going to an emergency, if you're going to the hospital, you need pills or something like that, I could help. I won't give you a lot of money, but I could help you with something that I can. So that's what I learned. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Wow. Microphone.
There, behind the laptop.
Wonderful. How often do you hear a 20-year-old speak like Malcolm? Huh?
Not so much.
Not so much, right? So I'm so proud of what he is becoming. And the fact that he can now articulate what his why is. Why is he is here? And I want you to understand that being rich is not magic. It's by design. You design your being rich. You design your wealth. And your design starts from the way you think. Right? So when you listen to Malcolm at 20 years speaking like a professor, you then think about 20 years to come. He will only be 41, 20 years to come. But I want you to just think, where will he be? Right? Okay. Thank you, Malcolm. Mama, same question, different angle. At your age, you should be retired. But then you're working so hard, but again, you feel like you have to spend some time and come to the center here to learn about finance and to teach about finance. Why? What is your why?
Okay. At my age, given my job, like you already know, so when I got to hear about this one, I'm like, maybe that will be a good way to retire. Gamba, you retire honorably, maybe ngolinayo ne kasente, like you were saying before, you don't depend on anybody to sustain you. If you didn't save enough, unfortunate. You better not look elsewhere. Try to sustain yourself. So ngankoye ngachayagala akasente, I'm like, okay, let me go, get to understand this business, get the money, and like I told you before, talk people, more especially people in my caliber, that people can retire minus every pakasi. So you give time to yourself. You have lived all these years, you've been working, you need time off to yourself. If you people may have seen that WhatsApp thing where there was these pretty aged people on a cruise, don't even know what's happening anywhere. I honestly did not want to be that person. So given the time I have left, I thought I needed my time to myself, go out there. When you come here to America, you got chances of traveling. It's easier than when it was when we were home. So why am I doing this? I need life to myself. If God wills, so I can have a better life, travel and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm making some money.
Wonderful. Thank you. Let's talk about the services that we provide. Malcolm, I understand you got a policy. Can you briefly talk about your policy as I get it here?
Yeah, so when I joined here, I didn't know what they were doing. What I came for was financial education, to learn about education, how I can manage, everything. And when I came here, they said you have to be protected You have to get protected. If anything was to happen to you, you have where to get the money to help you get everything you have to, and which most of the people don't. If someone gets sick, they have nowhere to go. And guess what? They're gonna lose everything. And they talked about insurance. I said, what is that? Because the only thing I knew that is insured is car insurance and maybe house. That's the only thing I knew about. But they said you have to be insured yourself. If anything was to happen to you, you can get the money and help you out. Or let's say like, college. If my dad knew about this when I came in America, I was only 14 and he started putting in some money. And when I started working, I also put in money. I wouldn't have problem to go to college, but at least 99% of the kids that my dad brought here, we had struggle, going to college because we didn't have money and we didn't have the financial education we have right now. So a few kids, like the two youngest one, I think they'll have an opportunity because my dad is working on getting their policies so he can start saving for them by the time they go to high school, finish high school. And who knows? God can give them like grace and then they can get, scholarship. But guess what? It's good for them because now the money is growing. They have, scholarship. How about if they want to buy a house? They have more money. And what they said was, it's tax free. You take out as long as you have your income there, you can take it out and do whatever you want. So I said I needed something that is good, that is, big enough for me to, sustain for 10 years because I think protection, they say it's about 10 years maximum. So I wanted to open up 100,000. But then my coach said 100,000, that's a little bit of money because you're still young, you have time. When you have time, you want to do something big because you want the money to grow. And then I said, okay, we'll do 200. But he said, no, let's do a little bit. And he said, let's do a meal. But I said, I don't have money because now I'm living by myself with my twin brother. So how am I going to be able to pay rent? I need to buy groceries. I need to do everything. And he said, I don't know, you could do that. You could pay minimum. And once you get a better job or once you start making income, you could put in more money. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I started paying 240 because that's what I play. But who knows? I'm only 21. Who knows? I'm gonna get a better job, or maybe the business I'm doing right now, I can go big. Who knows how much I'm gonna get? So I got a 1 million policy, but my goal by the end of this year is at least to be saving 1,000 a month. So I'm working hard on my goals so I can put in more money because the more you put in, the more increase you get and the more interest you get. So that's my goal. And after that one, I want to open up another mall because the more investments you have, the better you're going to have because what we want is to save for our future, our kids, because I want to have kids. And I don't want to have one, maybe 10, I don't know, 20. I'm just saying. I'm just saying because I have to prepare for kids. Yeah, so that's why the policy part. Yeah, that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. So before I go to Mama Justine, I want to show you what Malcom is doing. When Malcom came here and we talked, first of all, he understood. He told me, like he said before, he had come across this financial education, but he had not understood. So when we talked again, he said, okay, now it makes sense. I need to do something for me. And so when he said, I can have 100,000 policy, he was right. At his age, $100, 100,000 is okay. He doesn't have a family. Something happens to him and he is living 100,000. Who cares? But at his age, why did I tell him to get $1 million policy? Because he's going to have this million forever. And the amount of money he's supposed to pay today is the amount of money he will pay forever. Make sense? Meaning, he's locking $1 million at his age. So that is how much he's supposed to pay forever. Now, I want to show you here his policy. And so this is him. He has $1 million, like he has said. Let's remove this. He has $1 million, like he has said. Oh, just a moment. This is his account. And like he has said, he's saving $240 per month. Right? So whenever he saves $240, they take off $135 for insurance, and the rest of the money is invested. But of course, like he has said, he's now paying less money that he's supposed to pay, but he has the policy. Right now, he has, some few dollars in his savings. So instead of him, he has some $600, as you can see here, cash value, $600. So I want us to imagine a 21-year-old, what would he be doing with the $240? Buy shoes, partying, But for him, his $240 is he's preparing for his family.
$8 a day.
That is $8 a day. Okay? He's preparing for his family. I just want you, the reason I have these two is because I want us to compare Malcom with Mama Justine. And I want you to think about Malcom at her age. So, we are going to compare the two accounts with Mama Justine's account, and we understand the details of planning. That's why I talked about planning. Okay? So, Mama Justine, I understand you also have a plan. How much is that?
Yeah, I do have a plan. Before I tell you how much it is, I actually applied for more, but I was not able to. What did I apply for before? 500. They couldn't give me 500. Why? My life history, my age bracket, more especially. So they gave me 250. And how much do I sell for 250? I sell 500 a month. Compared to him, you do the math.
Now, I want you to understand. These two are saving in the same product. Okay? And Mama has a 250,000 policy, saving $500 per month. Malcom has $1 million, saving $240 per month. Why? Malcom started when he's young. Okay? And I guarantee you, even at her age, that is not how much she's supposed to save. But that's how much she can afford now. Okay? Now, I wanted them to first say how much they are saving so we can get the comparison of the two. Malcom has just said he's thinking, can I save $1,000 a month? I want you to look at his projection. He's looking at saving $1,000 per month. So this is his projection. This is his projection. Number one, he has $1 million account. Okay? In case of anything, his family today, whoever he put, gets $1 million. In other words, Malcolm's whoever beneficiary is $1 million richer. But God forbid, if he gets a terminal illness, because can he get a terminal illness at age 20? Yes. Now, if he gets a terminal illness, he's prepared with $1 million. He has $1 million in case he gets a terminal illness. In case he gets a critical illness, cancer, stroke, whatever, he's up to 90%, which is 900,000. So he can access up to $900,000. That's Malcolm X. And in case he gets a chronic illness and needs long-term care, he can access up to 2% of 1 million. By IRS per diem, they would give him $12,600 per month. $12,600 per month. If he gets a chronic illness today, do you think he's well prepared? So this is what we call proper protection. So he is protecting himself just in case. What if I get sick and I cannot eat, I cannot, maybe I was driving, I get into an accident and I cannot eat and I cannot bathe myself. I need somebody to look after me. This company is going to pay him $12,600 every month. For how long? Until the $1 million is done. So do your math. Okay? But of course he's young. He's not about to get sick. Okay? What is he looking at? He's looking at having enough money by the time he retires. He has just told you he's looking at saving $1,000 every month. So when he gets to save $1,000 every month, he will be saving $12,000 per year. Okay? 5 years later, he will have saved 50,000 and he will have 43,000 in his cash value. By the time he is age 67, okay, age 46, okay, 25 years from now, he will have saved a total of 290,000. And how much will he have? 540,000 to access. Okay? By the time he's 67, at his age 67, he will have saved a total of $542,000 at age 67. How much will he have? He will have 2.5 million to access. And this is tax-free at his age 67. What is he doing? He simply understood what to do at a younger age. By then, if he dies and he hasn't used this money, no problem. They will add that money to the million that he applied for, and they will give his family 3.5. Okay? So this is if he saves $1,000. Makes sense? But remember, Mama said she's saving $1,000. No, she's saving 500, but she's actually supposed to save 1,000 at her age. She's supposed to save around $1,000. Okay? So, in other words, what he wants to save is what she's supposed to save. Now, remember, at her age is when Malcom will have 2.5. Am I making sense? Okay? Now, but much as we are saying, oh, time is gone on her, guess what? If she gets a terminal illness today, she has 250. Do you think she's better than most of the people out there? Long-term illness and needs long-term care. She has 2% of 250, which is how much? $5,000 per month. So she has $5,000 per month to take care of her in case she gets a problem. Okay? Is it enough? No. But better than nothing. Make sense? What is she saving? She's saving 500, but she will also increase on that. She's saving around 500 something. She's saving minimum. That's why she's doing her exam. When she does her exam, welcome, Nyamo, she's also going to save more. But guess what? Maybe at her age 80, okay? 80, maybe 85. When she's 85, she'll have some 285,000 to access tax-free at her age 85. Do you think an 85-year-old needs money? Yeah. So she's preparing herself for that. So even when the person is old, it's never too old to save. It's just a little bit expensive. Okay? But she will have 285,000 by the time she's 85. Even if she's in Uganda, she will be enjoying money. But of course, because she has started late. But I want you to imagine Malcolm's age 85. Okay? At age 85, Malcolm will have 7 million. Okay? Why? He started young. Okay? Let's talk about the house. Mama, you're paying mortgage. I want to understand how long and how difficult did it take you to pay for your mortgage or to pay for a down payment on your house?
On payment. Around there. People, this is what I need. Please help. I need help. Let's put down hands together and get this down payment. So it was not solely me. I was helped out of this.
Okay. So you had to invite friends and family to make sure you get this done. Okay. And that's like, it took you about how long?
Just list the funds.
No, like when you came to the United States.
Oh, I think I did that in I think about 10 years after coming here.
Okay. 10 years. Okay, good. Good enough. Now let's go to Malcolm. Would you want to buy a house?
Yes, sir.
Around when?
I would say around 28, 30.
30. Okay. Let's look at Malcolm's account when he's 30. So remember, he said he wants to save. He wants to change to save 1,000. Okay. By the time he's 30, this is his 30. This is his 30, right? So by the time he's 30, he will have access to how much? $90,000.
Wow.
Do you think he can pay for his down payment?
Later we pay more.
Right? At his age 30, does he have to call his brother?
Yes, to call him.
He calls himself. He just has to call Transamerica and say, hey, I need 70,000 from this account. 24 hours, he has the money. What is he doing? He's saving. Okay? But again, as we are talking about Malcolm, how about if Malcolm had started this? When did you come to the United States?
2018.
2018. How old were you? 14. So, but let's just say, let's imagine Malcolm was born here. Okay? Like Mchala yani Chitibwa. Mwami Chitibwa. Shout his daughter, son. So let's imagine Malcolm was born here. Okay? And his father started this account. Now, let's say his father saved for him $200 every month. Okay? And then got $2,000 every year from the government. Child tax credit every year, $2,000. That is how much? 4,400, right? So if that money, if we put that money in this account, 4,400 every year until the Malcom is age 18, how much will we have? We'll have $97, 97,000. Do you think he would go to college? Do you think Malcom would pay for college?
Cash, maybe.
Cash? Saving how much? $200. Okay? And what would then? So at his age now, he would have around 176,000 today. If he was born here, he would have around 176,000. At age 67, he would have contributed a total of 674. And how much would he have? $6.35 at age 67. So most of the time we are limited by ignorance. We are limited by ignorance and procrastination. Because he said he first learned about this when he was 19. Meaning he lost how many years? So you came here when you were 20, right? You came here when you were 21?
14, you said. 14.
No, to this center. 20. You were 20. You were 21. You're 21 now, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna turn 22 next month.
So you came to the center 19.
No, he was educated when he was 19 and he didn't understand anything, so he went away. He didn't do anything.
Last year. It's 2 years.
No, if he came back. So I'm talking about when he came back. He was 21, 20. So you're less than a year here. Okay. 21. So meaning he lost 2 years. Okay. He lost 2 years. But man, I envy him.
Me too.
I am thinking if I was Malcom, I don't know.
If you could go back to
If I could go back to mid-20, you don't know. You don't know how my life would be. Trust me. Knowing what I know now, if I got his 16,
yeah.
Man, you're lucky. You're lucky to be 16. I wish I was 16. So, okay. Last question for you too is so we've talked about college, we've talked about buying a house, we've talked about basically you being part of the platform. I understand you said you've been here for less than a year now and you've traveled. Have you traveled before you joined this organization? How long and how often would you travel?
0 time.
Okay.
I was always working, but I always wanted to go for vacation, but I couldn't.
You couldn't. Okay. Mama, how long have you been in the US?
Over about 15 years.
15 years. Okay. So, and you've been here how many years? Less than 1 year. Yes?
Even the financial center.
Yes.
It's my second year, unfortunately.
Why is that unfortunate?
Because I'm supposed to have moved faster than I'm moving.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Some of the things, you know, things happen. Things happen. No worries. You're here. That's the most important thing. So I want you to tell me about traveling. Your travel history in the 13 years you've been in the United States. How often would you travel?
My travel history is Uganda, United States, Uganda. Like home was my travel. And they're like, your passport doesn't have any other visa. How come? I'm like, where do I even go? I don't even know. I can't even afford, but I'm obliged to go home. That's it.
Okay. How about interstate?
Interstate, I only remember the last time I went to LA with this.
No. Before. I'm talking about before you joined this organization.
I came here through California, went to Michigan, and that was it.
That was it. Okay. Now, since you've been with us,
I have the chances, but I've only been to LA.
You've been to LA.
With a company.
Okay. And are you going to Texas?
Maybe after Texas.
Okay. Are you going to South Korea in September?
Ooh, September?
Yes.
This year?
Yes. We are going to South Korea.
I'm not sure. I would love to, though.
You should. That's why you're working. You're not working for anyone. Yeah. You should. Malcolm. So in the last, I don't know how many months you've been here. How long have how have you traveled?
So in the last 8 months, I think
Mhm.
I've traveled to 3 different states. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which states?
I went to Vegas. I went to Philadelphia, and I'm going to San Antonio.
Okay.
That's like after 5 years of being in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you not going to Hawaii? Okay.
Yeah, I'm planning.
Are you not going to South Korea?
That's my goal this year. So I'm trying to work on my GX. So
Okay. Wonderful. So I want us to see how most of the time when we come to the United States, we actually have we have a chance that God gives us. God gave you a visa to come to the best country in the whole world. And some of you are blessed to come here when you're young, or you're blessed to even be born here. But most of the time we are born in this country, or we come to this country and we still behave like a third world person. We don't take the chances that God gave us. And these people here are now utilizing their chances. I know Mama Justine is saying she has only gone to California, but did you go to California or Vegas? Vegas. Yeah. I mean, 13 years later, she at least traveled to Vegas. I want her to go to Texas. And I want her to go to South Korea, because that's why you're working. You see, somebody wrote, there are two quotes that I want to give you. One is what is this South African guy? The comedian?
Noah.
Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah, he said, traveling is an antidote to ignorance. Whenever you travel, you get exposed. You get to understand. And another person said traveling is, the world is like a book. If you don't travel, you've only read one page. If you travel, you read another page. You travel, you read another page. You travel, you read another page. Some of us, you simply came to Logan. So from Entebbe, New York, or wherever you landed, then Logan, and that's it. That should not be our life.
Amen.
You come here to be a different person. You come here to enjoy the world. You come here to be a different person, better than the people that you left in the country. That's why you were given a visa.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since I came here, Momo, I don't know, before, in the first 3 years of my being in America, I think I traveled like 3 states. Today, I don't know. I don't know how many states I've traveled, to tell you the truth. And because some of those states, I've visited them several times. Actually, some people think I live there. Why? Because I now have the opportunity to do so. So, all that is part of our life. That is planning. When you have a better plan, then you can travel, then you can save, then you can live a better future. So, thank you very much, lady and gentlemen. I think we've had a great session with you two. But I want you to just imagine these two people, a 20-year-old and a 67-year-old, both working with us.
80.
No.
Okay. Everyone, both of them working so hard, first of all, for their own future. Because do you think a 67-year-old still have a future? Yeah. But most of the time, 67-year or 60s, when you get to 60s, you think life is done. You shut down. No, life is actually just starting. And then a 20-year-old who still has a lot of years ahead of him, and he decides, no, I will not party. Well, partying is good, by the way. I am an artist. You have to come to my concert.
I'm a Christian.
So does that limit?
So what are you trying to say? Are you saying I am satanic or what? Eh? I didn't understand that.
I mean, I don't know,
You don't have.
Anyway, yeah, but I want us to not even that he's a Christian, but because not all Christians are here. At his age, he should be going out, running after girls. But he decides to focus. He decides to have a life, a better life. So I want you to look up to him. Okay? I want him to be your mentor.
Your heart is made.
Okay? Anyway, I don't know whether the audience has any questions for these two people before we close. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't able to be with you this morning because you can hear me well. And also I'm in the kitchen as well. But please, I wanted to give you something.
Somebody should be a
But
friend.
no, I don't want to go on. Just some, oh,
Yeah, we can hear you.
just logic. You saw Malcom somewhere where he's having 3 million point something, which I can't recall. Assuming that in Haji you have maybe 4 million. And the Nabatans is having maybe 5 million starting early. I'm starting my own granddaughter with some voodoo protection. Just to give an example, their parents that they should do it because some of them still don't believe me. And he asks all of you when they talk about insurance. He said, oh, you come and tell us about insurance. Yes. But one thing which I've been thinking logically is that the gun shooting of the black guys, assuming that you are in insurance of 5 million, you are in insurance of 10 million, he's in insurance of 6 million, and they come and shoot you. They shoot you, they shoot you, and they shoot you, and shoot you. The insurance is going to do it. Okay. But the insurance is very protective of that money. You know that? So they will go and tell the killers, those who are having guns in their hands, stop. We're not going to do this anymore if you keep putting the guns in the hands of the people. That is my logical thinking. Because when I went in these events, I saw that coming. But most of you, when we tell you, most of you, when we talk to you, you ask us whether it is a harm, you ask us whether it is a storm, you ask us whether it is a period, doesn't matter. Come and get the information. Was that trash information? No. Go back and tell your fellow youths. You have the time. And she's my fellow, Malcom is my team, I'm their team leader. And my fellow member, we are late.
She's your fellow youth.
But it's never too late. Because we don't know our plan, the plan we don't know, the plan between us and God, we don't know. Because I've worked in some healthcare places, I've seen people who are 105 years, they're still thinking smart, they're moving everywhere. Meaning that what you had before, there is longevity now because of so many things. Except what is coming now, I don't know. But there's a lot of research to make us more healthier, more living longer than before. So those are all logical things, which I've been thinking that putting a thought, food for the thought. If she protected her son today, he might be maybe 7 years by the time he's 65. Are they going to shoot to him? The insurance is saying no, do not. So it is also another of what? Protection. So please use it. Talk to your friends, talk to your dads, talk to your moms, talk to your siblings. It's a necessity. Financial education is not
A joke.
we said it's not an option. It's not an option, but it's the what? Yes. Thank you very much for letting me talk.
Thank you very much. Moses is my name. I want to encourage us.
Moses is not
Moses Mugisha.
Mugisha. Yes.
I want to challenge myself as I challenge us in this journey of financial education, because from the little I know, few of us understand very little of what we know. And because we don't understand the little we know, we can't apply, because wisdom applied knowledge. Yes. So I want us to be tolerant to those people who call us scams, who don't even want. Because very many good things are not seen by people at the same time.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, some of us see it late. And because of that, I'm only encouraging those who are sharing this financial gospel, including myself. Let us keep watering that rock. Because there are people who are more rocky than others.
Yeah.
They fast even this. But the beauty of this is all of us have a convex point. We have a point where it now makes sense. Like you said, all of us would wish not to have an emergency. But we know that in this world, it is a matter of time.
Yeah.
It will come. It's like age. Mama wouldn't want to get old, but she is getting older. And these days with all the immunization and all the other things, people die. In my country, Uganda, Salongo, John used to announce preliminary announcements. He also died. So that is only to show us that these things are real. So we should really act. And why I wanted us to be tolerant and insistive, assertive, is that there are people who don't understand what they know. Now, how about those who don't know? Because it's the that's why financial education needs to come and keep disturbing that person. Call it disturbing for now, but they'll thank you later. I can't leave this because I'm a born again Christian. It's the same thing like salvation. Yes, because there are those who may not understand today salvation. Because I also believe in his couple of feeder. It's the same thing like people power. Some people don't understand now, but they will understand. So we need to be tolerant, understand them, keep doing this education, recruit one, because every clan, if we have one educated person in every clan, we shall touch the clans.
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You heard it.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. And thank you all family who have made time to come here. I'm a member. I've been here for 2 years, but I was recruited by my mom, Mario Namandi. We stay in the same house. She talked. She's not feeling good. She talked about this in our house for over a year. And, and I decided to join this because I just wanted to make my mom happy. Yeah. So I go to a church which has got so many people, many Ugandan, many youth.
Which is the church?
The church is called Delivered to Serve Ministries, headed by Pastor Alvin Waltham. But people, they're like, no, friends, we are Christians, we don't do that. No, that is a scam. No, friends, we have term life.
Okay. No, work insurance.
So for me,
Insurance.
they have said no. I say okay. But whenever there is any issue, if somebody loses a family member here, they start casting GoFund. Whenever whoever gets a problem, the pastor can't solve all the problems. No. Even me, since I said no to my own mom in the same house for a whole year, at first I was very, very bitter. I got annoyed. I'm like, no, why did they say no? Then I get it back and I'm like, but I said no to Mama Namandi for a whole year. So when I said yes, I said yes, why? I know my mom can't take me back to Uganda if something happened.
Is she a real mom?
She's my auntie. She's my auntie. Now, those ones back home, even if they broke the whole plan, for heaven's sake, they can't raise the money to take just my body back. And what is the body going to add on the family? Nothing. Apart from that psychological satisfaction that, oh, somebody died, and it helps them to heal and go through that trauma of losing someone. So I'm like, I think let me join Mama Namandi and get that concierge so that in case something happens, she will not be overstressed by taking me back at home. But as of now, I appreciate, much as people are saying no, 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 but I keep on talking, and everybody now in my church knows me. Oh, the financial education woman is there. That is I'm like, okay. And then they are like, "You need to be a Kapalaga." I say, yes, I work with Kapalaga. But one, I am grateful. I have something. Just by the time I reach that age of 67, I'll have something. Though I feel envious of Malcom. Malcom is just saving 240. I save $1,000 every month. But I'm not going to get $1 million. But by virtue of my age, as she said, they couldn't give me $1 million for 1,000. I'm like, oh, okay, for whatever they gave me, I now religiously, whether I have problems or what, I must save my 1,000. Even if I have debts, that one must be there. So kindly be committed. And let's take that bitter pill as of now. But I know that even if I go back to Uganda when I'm old at a certain age, no one is going to say, oh, no one will say that. I'll be able to take care of myself.
Some people think the man doesn't go to Uganda.
Oh, I'm very, very happy when I hear these testimonies in community. Man, financial literacy, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We are getting there. Yeah, even though we put one person, I told you only one recruit, we are doing well. You know why I'm very happy? My daughter Justine here, you know. Now Justine just had your flyer. You know, I told you I'm always happy when I see only one recruit. And the father lives in Texas. Oh, nice. He's my friend, Mr. Biencha. The mother is Namata Brewer, if you know Brewer. She always talks about alcohol abuse, mental substance. And this is the young lady who we just celebrated last year when you crowned 20. So in our community, she's one of our 20-year celebrants last year. So for the father to pick that flyer off our chat and send it to her and tell her to be here, to me, that is moving. So I'm telling you, we're moving. And Justine is going to preach the gospel. They call it the gospel. Remember, I told you the gospel of financial literacy. So we're here not to hoodwink you, not to camouflage you, not to make you feel like, why are they here? We are few, but for a purpose. And the purpose is to live well as we go through this life. You're 20. Mpaji here, my son, is 16. He's just crowned 17, right? Yes. That is in December. On 27th, so he's just my old birthday, as baby, you know? When this place had just opened, when we were at Burlington, I want to tell you this story. I brought my eldest, Alex. And I told Alex to come and say hello to Mike, to Umar, to Moses, to Rogers, and Ruth. He went through the place, just like Malcom, your age, because that's how he is. He's 20, just turned 21. So anyway, he goes through. I tell him, I need you to come and learn about what? Financial literacy. What I did not teach you, I know Kapalaga, Umar, somebody is going to be your listening ear. My lovely boy goes like, okay, what do you do? You know how the boys are full of life. I say, now, mister, what are you going to learn? Have you learned anything? Yeah, we got to save our money. Period. Say, oh, I want to. I told Alex about life insurance and financial literacy. He didn't get it. But I got to tell you today, Mpaji has moved here the first time. And he had the 1 million and Malcom and 200 and something. He goes, Mommy, how much do I need to save? Oh, we're moving. You're gonna get another recruit somewhere, you know. So why am I saying that? Maybe our kids love to hear figures. And we're not talking about what? Figures in our what? In our vocabulary. We're not talking about that eye-catching thing that would, because Fadi has not been here even a minute. He doesn't even know what we are talking about. He has just had what? Figures, money, you know? So I have to talk to Fadi about figures. I don't have to go anywhere. Or if I talk about another gospel, I'm not recruiting this one. I need to talk about only what? Figures. So we have to know what language to use for our people, because every person understands differently. The way Maureen understands is not the way Jasmine understands, it's not the way Moses understands, it's not the way, you know, Hadi understands, it's not the way Mama Angela understands. So every person, you just need one recruit because you have spoken the language of that person at that very one time. Yeah. We come to what Mama Angela has been saying. We had a tragedy this week, which happened in DC. You know, people died, the airplane crashed. I have to talk about the side, which was the military helicopter. The helicopter for the military had 3 people in there. We in the military have 500 Gs, which they give us once you pass, as long as you sign to the SGLI. And you have to update it every year. So for those 3 families, they already what? Covered with their half what? Million already, you know? But now imagine these who are in the 67 in the passenger airline, the American airline. Some of them even wouldn't be having insurance. You don't know. They only have the one for the airplane. And that one covers you not even a long way, you know? But those are the things that Mama Angela is saying for the protection, you know? Get yourself, when you're going onto that plane, when you're going into insuring your house, when you're going into insurance, insuring your work, because some people have work that needs to be insured, but you do not know that your work needs to be what? Insured. Before you think it's just about your life. And then also the one which they provide you at work, you need to add more, because if your work ends,
You don't have insurance.
you still have something to go, an extra mile. We always say the plan B, the option B, you know, have those into place. So that we can have a better way of taking care of ourselves. Why our white folks are better? They insure everything away. Everything, they look at it as insurance. And then that is how they're able to move. Every time you tell them, hey, do you have guarantee? They have warranty, they have guarantee, they have insurance. And before they know it, they are spending less on their credit cards than us who have to use the credit card to cover what we should have insured. So let's do the meaningful work. Let's get our children into insurance, and ladies, let us make Jasmine our spokesperson in the community. That Malcom continues to mentor such and make it a better, meaningful community. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I definitely want to hear from Jasmine, because she has been very attentive and following.
Please me because she did a lot of notes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Jen.
I'm so happy to be here today and just attending. It made me really happy to know that like there's this much education and resource within our community. You know, it's nice to know we're all like similar Ugandans. I'm guessing everybody's Ugandan, you know. It's just nice to see that like our community getting better every day. I really appreciate that. I was able to find this opportunity through my father. He sent me a flyer. Uncle Simple had sent something in the group chat. So he sent me a screenshot. But yeah, I've been taking a lot of notes. This is very insightful. I want to know more like about what you guys do and like what the meetings are like and stuff like that. But and to finish it off, I guess I'll just say something that I wrote down that I liked. I really liked your quote about keep watering the rock and like be tolerant and stuff, because you will like come into situations where you're going to meet people who may not understand what you're saying or the goal that you have, the message. But as long as you understand it and it's important to you and you keep working towards it. I really enjoyed that quote. I had to write it down, keep watering the rock, because you never know if there's like a seed hiding under it and the flower might grow. Even though you look at it, it's just a rock and it may look like nothing to somebody else. It'll grow into a big tree that'll feed your family one day. I just love like those quotes like that you can like apply to life and things like that. And also I go to the same church as you, delivered South tomorrow. And I hope to see you all soon. Thank you for having me speak. Would anybody else like to? Okay.
Okay, so I want to know what you're going to tell your family to that.
Genda, Mugambe, Tata, webale nnyo ku giving me the screenshot. Still learning. I'm just still trying my best. Thank you so much. That's what I really appreciate. Yeah, I try.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, especially like community members like yourself, everybody here, like, because even though we may not be like blood related, we still have that connection in our country.
Wow.
And I always tell my mother, like, and my family, how appreciative I am of the entire like Ugandan community, especially here. Like, I live in Waltham. You know, in Waltham, everyone's Ugandan, like everyone. So literally, I even tried to bring my older brother, my little sister. She's on Fortnite. He's over there hanging out with his friends, but it's just like, keep watering the rock, try to bring as many people as you can. Even my dad, all the way in Texas, that little screenshot he sent me, I met so many amazing people today. So it's like, just do what you can. And what was the question?
What you're going to tell him that you like to make. Okay, thank you.
It's natural, Lydia's hair. Yeah, so it's
Oh.
Lydia natural.
So I have some money waiting for
That is the mother, the young mama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, wonderful. Seven.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. People power. People power.
People power.
Yeah, I'm called Amazing. I'm the secretary for the youth ADP Boston chapter. I like such events, especially the Youth Power Seminar. They add value to our community. In NUP, we are in a revolution to remove Museveni from Uganda. We want to change Uganda, and we call upon the youth to join us. As young people, you can contribute to change and the politics in Uganda in so many ways, especially like the finance professional, Malcom he can contribute on the financial end of the revolution. So we are in a revolution, and I'm here to call upon the young people to join us. Politics, success in politics is about numbers. We cannot do it alone. So we need you to be on our side. And I'm here to mobilize you young people to join us in this. We are the majority, we are very many, and we need to work for our mamas, okay? We're like 78% of the population. And then the idea here of financial literacy transcends borders. It goes beyond America. Like they're going to South Korea, is it in September? Yeah, so it can move to Uganda as well. As we work towards removing Museveni and changing Uganda, let us change the finance bit of it as well as young people. So please join us in this. Thank you for the event, Mr. Michael. I'll not confess how many times you've been on my neck about this, but I like the quotes that you sent to me in my inbox. Yeah, however much I blue tick them, you keep sending them, and I'm like, this guy. Yeah. Then sometimes I'm like, wait, let me just say thank you, Mr. Kampala. I've seen it, but can you just stop a bit? I mean, like, spend like after a month or maybe. But that's it. Join us. I'm here to call upon you to join us. I'm called Amazing, NUP Boston chapter. I'm the secretary for the youth. We have a convention this year. It's going to be here in Boston, the NUP Diaspora Convention. We shall have leaders from Uganda, people all over the world will join us. And then we have something for the youth in that convention called the Youth Gala. Malcom X, I'd like you to present in that convention. So you can teach the people financial literacy. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been time well spent on a Saturday. It's been snowing out of my comfort zone. I like this. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's mornings are like a beginning.
Yeah.
So this event is like a very beautiful beginning. But good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. My name is Rebecca Lutaya, and I pray from Rivers of Life Assembly. I stay in Gardner, Massachusetts. I first of all want to recognize the authority that we have in this place. President Momo, I want to thank you for always being available, for always giving yourself to the community. It is such an inspiration, and it's so encouraging to see her driving Ugandans all over America. So I want to say thank you so much, even for involving the youth.
Thank you.
Even for involving the youth in your time. I also want to recognize Uncle Kapalaga, Uncle Michael. I feel like we're going to start calling him Uncle Michael because he has dedicated himself to educating us about financial literacy. And he's not getting tired, even though some of us get tired. But thank you so much for not getting tired. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Moses Mugisha. Thank you so much for making time to be here. I'm so proud, so proud of Malcolm. When I first spoke with him, I'm very, very proud of you, Malcolm.
Thank you so much.
One thing that you do not know, that maybe you should know now, is I don't know if some of you know about Malcolm X. He's a very, very great man. And for me, I love him so much more than Martin Luther King. I feel like Malcolm X was more, he knew exactly what we needed. And you are the epitome image of Malcolm X. And I'm so proud of how much you are growing. I am so proud of the audibility, the boldness that you have. You're able to speak, articulate matters with confidence and calmness. You're becoming such a great leader. I'm so grateful that you gave us an example of the, I don't want to say older, but for the older generation and the younger generation, so that people can compare where we actually stand. It was such a beautiful example for me, and I'm so grateful that my wonderful Malcolm was over there explaining those matters to us. I think this financial literacy campaign is very, very important, but people have somehow failed to understand the urgency. But like Mr. Mugisha said, continue watering the rock. And the more you water it, you never know. I was so excited. I'm sorry, I'm going everywhere, but I was so excited to see these two young men, young gentlemen and young ladies sitting there, and they got something from this meeting, right? That young lady she was so intelligent. I felt so good when I was listening to her and the things that she learned. And I feel like when we have these young faces in the community, they are able, now if Malcolm can be able to communicate to her, she can listen, right? But if I speak to her about these things, she might not. So I'm grateful that we have a young man who is going to be able to move and speak to these other 16, 20, and so many other more. So I'm so grateful and I'm so excited because I see that the future for you is broad and beautiful. Teaching young minds, it's so wonderful. I'm so I'm sorry. I'm so excited. I'd also like to invite you to Rivers of Life Assembly. We have had people come to teach us about financial literacy. One of the Sundays ago, I spoke to someone about insurance. And she told me, oh yeah, I have a policy. I was like, you should get one for your child as well. I was like, yeah, I have one policy. I'm like, what kind of policy do you have? She did not even understand what kind of policy that she had. And the policy that she had was a term life, which is short, and she was paying about $87. And the person that explained the policy to her did not explain what the policy actually is. So she's sitting thinking, I'm safe. Then later on, I told her, go and research the kind of policy that you have. She comes back and tells me, I think I have a term life, and she did not even know. So if we can have such people, if we can have such people come to us and teach us about these things, we can move mountains. So I want to invite you to Rivers of Life Assembly. If they hear it from you, right, please come speak to our pastors. If they hear it from you, they will be able to understand this. They will be hearing it from their own, right? So I'm very, 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 very proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You can't even imagine. And I'm so excited for this journey that you started. And thank you, Mr. Kapalaga, for giving us your time.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
We have talked about it, but I want to emphasize this. With proper protection, the time is now before you get these terminal illnesses. If you get it, I think it will be a different story. Please, if you don't have proper protection today, make sure you get it at your earliest possible time, because time is running out. You never know what you have. Health is anything we have no control about. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just forgot to mention something small that I had written down. To the young minds that are here, I encourage you to also take this information to your high schools, because if you picked interest in this information, then that means that there's someone else in your school, they could even tell it to their parents, that will pick interest. There are so many other minds that are like yours, very beautiful minds. So I encourage you to also step out of your comfort zones and preach the gospel of financial literacy.
Thank you. Gloria, next Charlotte.
Hey everybody, my name is Charlotte. This is my son with my mother. And I just want to say that I am really, really grateful for this campaign, because I'll speak for myself, or I don't know if it might sound insensitive or something, but I really, really wish it was like mandatory to have life insurance. Kubanga abantu bagenda ne bafiibwa, twali mu nnaku abakaaba, oli afudde talina insurance, muze mu kunoonya ssente, abaleeta ssente baleeta $200, person needs about $20,000. Before you know, it's even becoming more expensive. It's frustrating. The person, like, abafiiriddwa bali awo, they're like, it's a whole mess. I just wish that this would be like mandatory for everybody to have at least a center card if you don't want to, like, go broader. Nayenga, financial literacy is something that we really, really need in our community. I wish Michala Moma Badeo, she's I don't know how personally, naye omukyalo oyo ali present abeerawo buli wamu bituyako community okulaba abeerawo or like her team, I don't know. Well, mugezezzaako buli omu bwekikwata agezezzaako, but I just wish we as Ugandans would, like, pick up more on insurance. Ne tutabonaabona akaseera kaba kazirungi okutandika okunoonya ssente. Omuntu n'abeerawo wiiki nnya simanya mwezi muli awo bali abakaaba e Kampala beetaaga ssente. It's a lot. It just becomes a lot. Naye nga tweyanziza nnyo mwenna batukolamu omulimu. It's really good. I hope that you'll be rich and helping some people. Thank you.
Okay, but I want you to talk about your mother being part of this platform.
Yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. Just that not don't set me up like yeah, she's doing well. She's doing well. I wish everything good for her. I wish everything works out, and I am glad that yeyunze ku bantu abagenda okuyamba community yaffe okugenda mu maaso.
Okay. All right. Where is Glory?
She had to go.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Celine and S. Bujingo, can you say something before we close? Celine.
Hello.
Yes. Hi. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for this Zoom for the financial literacy. Personally, I actually have some policies going on, but hearing some new information helps me to re-strategize. And Malcolm mentioned something about how we so much spend a lot of money to Uganda, and then we fail to plan for ourselves here. So it's a good thing. Thank you for bringing this to the community, especially to us who are still young. I mean, I'm not so young. I'm in my early 30s, but I think if I start from here, I can be able to talk much more. So thank you so much for inviting us, and we are so proud of you, Malcolm. Congratulations, and congratulations to the maama who's 60 something. So congratulations to you too, and yeah, God bless you all. Thank you.
Okay, where are you, Bujingo? Where are you?
Right now I live in Shirley. It's via Route 2.
Okay. Do you know?
Is she from Rivers of Life?
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for connecting and learning, and I definitely want you to connect more with this young man here.
Sure, I will. Thank you.
Yes, Celine, so grateful for being here, but I'm with the client and she won't let me speak. So proud of Malcolm, and I'm planning to join the insurance soon. Looking forward to hearing more. Do you know Celine?
She was here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for listening in. And all of those on TikTok, thank you also for being part of this wonderful thank you for listening in. I see people have been listening in from Kampala, from wherever. Thank you for being part of this today. And please, let's take action. You can also be part of our platform. All you need is to go through licensing. Once you take your license, you can educate others, because just imagine if no one talked to Malcolm, if Rebecca didn't talk to Malcolm, then probably we would not be here. We are here today because somebody talked to Malcolm and he's a youth, and we say, okay, now we need to bring the youths on board. So we need to have more of such conversations, because that's why we are living in this wonderful country. So thank you very much. We are going for lunch. We have lunch prepared. And then we can also have anyone who wants to join us. You just go through licensing. We shall show you what to do. But thank you for being part of this wonderful platform. Malcolm, any last words from you, Sarah?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you, everyone who made it here. I'm really grateful. To be honest, I was only expecting like 2 people, one person, but I'm really grateful Thank you, Mr. Mugisha. Thank you for the good job you did. Thank you, Mrs. Thank you for the opportunity you gave me to join and help people. I really appreciate it. And Coach Michael, I don't know what to say because Coach Michael is like a dad. He will never give up on you. I don't know. Coach Michael is the best coach I ever had. He's like a dad, everything brother. He will be there whatever I need. Whether I don't do nothing, he will always be there. So I'm really grateful. And for everyone, I am really so grateful. Mama Angela, thank you for everything. It was my first time, so she helped me with everything because she knows she has the knowledge about it, and I didn't know. And my partner, I'm really very grateful, Mama Justine. You want to say something?
Yes, sir. Hello all, thank you so much for coming. The climax of this meeting is to go out and execute. All right, we wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Michael, Mama Angela, and every one of you. People here work like hand in hand, like everybody here is there for everyone. It's the teamwork. And with that, I'm so grateful. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Let's go for lunch.